Hello everyone. A quick intro before we get into the video. I normally won't have these in front of my videos, but I thought since this is the first, I would put a quick introduction. My name's Ryan. I have a company called KG Printing Press. It's just a little something I do in my evening times, in my spare time, but I do wood carvings, wood cuts, prints, t-shirt prints, all with my carvings, and I made this channel just to show you my process and take you along on my different projects and show you how they're done. You've probably seen works I've done before if you are a Rooster Teeth community member, if you follow Rooster Teeth Funhaus at all. I've done things like the Buff Husky shirt that actually Rooster Teeth bought the rights from me after I carved it and sent it to Funhaus, and it was printed and sold through the store. Did the allegedly audio-friendly shirt and print that's hanging on the Off Topic podcast. Done things like the bat ball print that's in Funhaus office, but just a few different things that I've done, and just wanted to show you guys how I do it. Hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, before we get started, this is going to be a two-part video. In this part of the video I will show you how I do my initial setup on a carving, how I get it to this part right here, fully cut out carving before I do any actual carving or painting on it myself. But yeah, here we go. To start off with, I usually take a general sketch or drawing that I've done. This one was done on my Wacom tablet. I took the Funhaus logo, cut it out, and then drew a general octopus sketch around it. I don't get too crazy detailed with these because usually when I carve, I divert from my original design anyway. I just need general lines to cut the design out on the scroller saw before I get to the carving process. If you're like me, you probably don't have a printer that'll do 11 by 17 or 12 by 18 prints, so what I've done here is just cut it up into two sections that will print on 8.5 by 11. You can just tape those together and get your full print. At this point in the process, you're going to want to line up your artwork on your board. This is a 3/4 inch MDF board for anyone wondering. Definitely recommend 3/4 inch MDF for wood carving. It doesn't have any grain or anything that'll get in your way, unlike woods that are actually non-man-made. You want to make sure that you tape your print down really well so that when you're transferring your image to the wood, you don't move it. Just another note is if you are going to print this on a t-shirt or make prints out of this, you'll have to flip the image digitally before you print it out. I'm not going to for this one because it's just going to be a carving. It's going to be a wall hanger, so you want the text forward instead of reversed, but just a heads up. Once you're done taping down your image, you want to grab some transfer charcoal paper. It's called typewriter sometimes, but if you don't have this, you can also just scratch your pencil on the back of the paper beforehand, get a nice layer of graphite on there before you transfer the image. But once you do that, you can just trace the entire image. The paper will transfer that to the wood, and here we go. Once you're done doing your tracing, make sure you peel up only one end of the paper, just kind of unfold it to make sure you've gotten everything. If you're like me, you'll forget a line or two, not realize you haven't gone over it, and if you just peel it all the way off, you're never going to get it lined back up perfectly. Sometimes that matters more than others. Thankfully, I missed a line here, idiot putting the paper upside down, but once you get it pretty much lined back up, usually it won't be too big of an issue, but definitely generally check before you just rip the paper off. Here's my finished drawing laid out on the wood. I take a Sharpie and go around the edges of the wood just to make sure that I can see exactly where I need to cut when I do my scroller saw. I don't want to get confused and cutting off a chunk of the wood that I really didn't want to. Next part of your process will just be taking the scroller saw and cutting around your lines that you drew. I have a Win 16-inch scroller saw. It's about the cheapest one you can get on Amazon. I believe it's $70 or $80. Nothing too expensive. You don't need anything crazy here. For this next area, you'll need to get in any areas that are not connected by the outside cut. So what you'll want to do is just take a drill bit that is big enough to fit your blade down through it and drill a hole just in the center, anywhere that you can fit the blade through. Here's when you take your blade, pop it off your saw, and fit it down through the hole that you just drilled. That way you can cut out your center shape without cutting any direct lines to the outside cut. Also, if you're an idiot like me, you'll forget that there's a few more center cuts that you didn't mark either, and then you'll have to go back and do those afterwards. So let's knock that out quickly. Well, that's it for the first video. Here's where we currently are at. We got to go in and carve and paint still, but hopefully soon in the next video you'll see a finished product that'll look much like my Soldier 76 pulse rifle that I completed, or if you're a League of Legends fan, my Sivir boomerang. These are all carved and painted just like we're going to do that. So hope you enjoyed. Thank you. This has been my first video. If you have any tips on anything, I've never done any camera work, video work, anything, so this has been a shot in the dark for me. Hope it went well. Thank you.